into the future. What's in the dream? I can't let her die.
Supacell is the new TV series from Rapman. Black superheroes in South London. How about that? Why has it taken so long for a show like this?
CGI. No, I'm joking. I mean, it took Raps a while to kind of like just develop the show, and then I think he started in 2020.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Yeah, I think 2020, and then we started shooting summer of 2022, and then we finished originally in January 2023. Then we had some pickups, May 2023, and then literally just waiting for post-production, the CGI, the special effects to kind of kick off. So yeah, that's why it took so long in a nutshell. Yeah.
But I mean, aside from Supacell, why has it taken so long in general?
I don't know, man.
We might have thought we might have got something like this 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, ask the industry that, man. I'm sure there's probably ideas circulating, whether it be books, whether it be ideas. But I mean, ain't no perfect time than now, you know? I mean, shout out to Raps for creating it, and that's it, I guess.
Over the last 15 years, we've had tons of superhero content, I'd say, and some even say we're in like a superhero fatigue era of films and TV shows. What do you say to the audience that are going to watch this show? What does this show do differently to what we've seen before?
This show kind of connects you with the power. You can kind of see yourself more in these characters than you can Iron Man. You know what I mean? Iron Man is so like above, and like even his persona is so grand. But like these characters, is like, yo, I feel like I feel like Sabrina, I feel like Taser, I feel like Rodney, you know. So I feel like that's the thing that's gonna set this apart from everything else. But
I mean, if you remove the super power element, it's just working class stories told by like a working class creator in Rapman. He's from a local lad from Lewisham, and he's worked hard to be where he is, and he's managed to pen this story and get it across to Netflix, and that should be championed. And we're the industry's craving for like authentic working class stories, and we've got one here with a supernatural twist.
I also think if you're looking for superhero things and you think there's a fatigue, watch Invincible and watch The Boys. Big up them, they're doing it good.
And watch Supacell.
We're actually in a peak right now. The fact that we're coming out in the same month as The Boys excites me so much. Like it's like complementing each other, but two completely different ways of looking at it. It's amazing.
He's a big sci-fi fan.
I can see that.
I'm with you.
Gang violence was definitely a big part of this TV series. How much of a challenge was it getting your portrayal of these UK streets correct, would you say?
It was a challenge, but obviously with Rapman there, I mean, the reason the storyline's in there is because it was the first 25 years of his life, and he didn't want to ignore that. So if I had a problem, he was a phone call away, or he was on set all the time anyway. So having your writer on set directing you is the best thing possible, honestly. So yeah, that was all good, and the mandem as well there, like we all bounced off each other, and it was all good. And yeah, man, it was nice, and it was also nice to be portraying it in a way where we're not glorifying it, and we're almost calling it out in a way if you watch it with a particular eye. And this is just really, it's almost a cautionary tale at times. So yeah.
Big expectations for this TV show. How much of a part do you feel like it will play in the evolution of UK black TV?
I mean, I hope it. I hope it plays a big part. I mean, I hope it's successful.
For sure.
I hope it's representative. I hope people get to see themselves. I hope people enjoy it. I hope people relate to it. I hope black people relate to it, and I hope even if you're not black, you still relate to it. I hope it reaches many audiences, and if it does that, then undoubtedly it should have a knock-on effect and encourage people who hold the keys to creation and
and it's a big deal, like it's a big deal, like even behind the scenes in terms of like HODs, you know what I mean? Head of departments, black, camera crew, black, you know what I'm saying? Like so just in front of the camera and behind the camera, like in the UK we don't have much of these things here. So I feel like in the grand scheme of things it should be kind of supported because it does have a knock-on effect of opportunities that come after it, you know what I mean? So like we can get more shows on a higher scale. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Sometimes when we get shows, we love those shows, but they're very quite unique and very quite niche and targeted. So if we can do something like this that's broader, it broadens everything else. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so hopefully it does kick down the door for all those other opportunities to kind of come through. And
Yeah.
you know what
But
I mean?
I was going to say that I hope it gives the people that hold the keys to actually, you know, greenlighting things and saying, yes, let's make this, see that, oh, well, stories like this are entertaining and people do enjoy them and they do sell. So let's make more of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or let's put the money in people's, let's give, you know, people like Raps, let's give them the opportunity to make more of these things.
Well, to both of you, you know, what do you expect audiences to take from this series once they've watched it?
I mean, there's so much, man. There's love stories, there's parenthood stories, there's like action, there's fear, there's powers. I mean, there's so many to draw from. We touch on so many different themes.
First and foremost, though, I think we want them to be entertained.
100%.
We want them to
That's
be
true.
entertained. We want them to really enjoy it, and I think we want them to connect with like the story and the characters and find something to relate to. And also, I think I desperately, and I think Tosin wants this too. We want them to take the love away from it.
Yes.
We want them to feel the love,
Yes.
don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
They are calling this Top Boy meets Avengers. When you hear something like that, how do you feel about it? How do you reply?
I think it's false. I think it's completely different.
I mean, it's a compliment as well. They are
Yeah.
both
It's definitely a
great,
compliment,
you
yeah,
know,
but I just don't
it
think
is
it's-
where
doesn't
we
fit the
are
story.
different
No, yeah.
in the sense that, you know, Avengers, they work with
Very
superheroes,
superheroes, we're not heroes.
costumes, saving the world. We are not superheroes. We are normal people who have acquired superpowers. You know, we're not trying to save the world. We each have our own sort of like stories that are being told, and then we come together for the purpose, obviously, of saving Michael's partner. But that's where the differences are. There's no similarities. And then Top
As for
Boy,
the Top Boy comment,
We have powers.
I'm the only one that like lives in that realm of the story, and there's 4 other stories which are way more important. Well, no, not important,
Are
but like,
different.
are different,
It's,
and
it's
like
important to acknowledge.
it's important to
Yeah.
acknowledge them, and it's like this is a story about South London altogether, not just one side of it. So I think that's the important thing about this show.
but those
Nah,
fans
sure.
of those shows
Oh,
are
come
gonna love
and
it.
watch, come and watch.
You know,
Enjoy
so
it.
your
Of course,
Top
of course,
Boy
of course.
fans, yeah, come and watch.
Yeah.
But
Calvin, he said not superheroes. Do you agree with that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say super keyword. Yeah, definitely superhuman, but not heroes. My character, specifically Rodney, has no desire to be altruistic. He doesn't care necessarily about the next man. In fact, he once said, you know, this ain't a comic book, but it's just real life. Do you know what I mean? And I think that speaks to his character and speaks to the show. Like, we're not trying to be people. We were who we were before we had the powers, and then once the revelation is we have these abilities, all right, well, how does this affect our lives now? How do we
as
better
normal
ourselves
people,
now, or help the ones that we care about?
This is such an ambitious TV show, from its themes, the concept, and the visual, the CGI effects. Can each of you share what it was like being on set for this production? Do you have any like special moments that you've taken away from this series?
I think working with these guys was pretty cool.
Ah.
Especially as a young actor myself, you know, a couple of the guys I definitely watched and wanted to work with for time. Rapman is a great like person to work with in the culture. Like, he's one of our directors, you know what I mean? So to be led by him was a very good experience. And yeah, just being with the guys, working with the guys, it was great, and a lot of lessons were learned. And it was nice.
Josh used to particularly make me laugh when we'd have like our like our menu for lunch, and he'd be going to Deliveroo just ordering Morley's, and I don't know whether he was trying to be method
Young palate, man, young palate, you know what I
or
mean?
the chicken wings, but
Wings and burger, or you pieces of chicken?
I'm a wings and burger guy.
Yeah, that's what you
vibes.
Always.
Tosin, your character definitely time travels.
Yes.
If you in real life could time travel to anywhere, where would it be?
I always say like the 80s, you know. I always wanted to know what the 80s was like. I feel like for me, 80s was like the birth of the things that I really liked, but I never really got to experience. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the last era of like originality.
I agree with you. I
Do you know
always
what I
say
mean?
the 80s for
Like,
movies and film
yeah,
music.
like I feel like it was the
Undefeated.
last era of originality. Obviously, there's certain things here and there, but like we got a lot of classics, a lot of like movie stars, a lot of like things were happening in the 80s, and I feel like if I could go back there and live through it, like me now, I'd think I'd appreciate it. So the 80s for sure.